Hello, hello, Marcella McBride here, signing in from the beautiful Sunset Coast of Hawaii. Aloha and warm blessings to you, especially my friends and family on the East Coast who are getting some snow this weekend. So John and I just got done playing in this awesome surf back here. And as I was playing, I started to receive some metaphor that I wanted to share with you. If you're at the precipice of big change and you're perhaps starting to go through the process and feeling some fear and resistance, I want to talk about getting into the ocean as a metaphor for that. So we got here a couple hours ago, and there's a lot of folks surfing, body surfing, and not many big boards, but mostly body surfing, having a lot of fun. And I flash back often on a memory as a child when there was a very strong undertow and I got pulled under. It was a pretty scary time. I was probably about 3 years old. And that surfaces every time I want to go out into the surf. Even as a grown adult in my early 40s, that memory still comes up. And so what we're learning being on the island here as a lot of different points of access means different surf. There's sometimes there's sand, sometimes there's black volcanic rock as you see here. Sometimes it's super deep and you can't see how much coral might be there. Some beaches are super smooth, easy access, so we're learning how to navigate different access points. Some points are very public, some are really rustic and private. And so today, this was a new spot that we went to. And so I just want to share the little process of going into the surf today to see if this might help you move through your fear a little more easily. So I noticed the surf was a little rough, but I saw people having a really good time, and I wanted to go in. And John's super excited about going in. He loves to body surf, and a lot of people were out there just kind of getting blasted and laughing it off and going right back in. And my tendency is to observe, and it used to be an old pattern was I would see people having fun in a situation where I didn't feel comfortable, and I would hold back, and I'd say I'll just hang back on the beach, I'll just read my book or just hang out, and I would observe, and I would actually want to be in the water playing and having a blast and getting blasted and not caring, but I would hold back out of fear because of that old memory. So it's something I've been working with over the years of being in the sea. And here I feel Mama Ocean has so much to teach us. And so today, John was excited to go in, so I said, go on in, I'm going to take a few minutes just to observe. And so, you know, Mama Ocean is that feminine component of receptivity, intuition, emotion, flow. And she has so much to teach us. And so I went to the edge of the ocean to observe, and I noticed the wave pattern, some shorter waves, some high waves. And if you're with her, if you're with that feminine component within yourself, the emotion has so much to teach you, just like the waves do. And so I noticed, okay, there's a pattern of 2 to 3 waves that will come in pretty intense, and then there's a pause. And in that pause is the spot I want to go out. And so I took about 5-10 minutes to observe, noticed that pattern, and then went in. And swiftly, so I waited, I observed, I noticed my intuition, I felt into it, I observed the people in the water, so I wasn't reinventing the wheel, I was noticing how are they going in, how are they working with the waves, taking a time to pause. And then when I like to say when I was aligned with my divine right action in alignment with my goal, I took action. So I swiftly moved into the water, and as soon as the first big wave came, I went under, which is definitely always a secret you want. Instead of having it smack you, go under the wave, and then you can gently move through it and up to the other side. So once I got past this intense space, facing that initial fear as this metaphor and moving forward and going through change in your life, then there was a calm spot. And that's where I hung out for a while and swam and did like stretching and yoga and floating, and really like a sweet spot. And that's the sweet spot when we've worked through our fear and as our destiny's calling out and that change is wanting to occur in your life, working through that initial fear and finding that sweet spot. And so after I hung out in that for a while, I knew it was time to come in, and I had actually floated out a good distance. So there was that next fear. I was like, oh, I'm out pretty far and I need to get back, and there's some undertow. So there's that moment of like, do I have enough strength to do this? So again, using this as a metaphor for facing that next level of fear of coming back in. And so I said, okay, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to trust Mama Ocean. She's going to send me back in. So I did just that, and I allowed the waves, each wave, to gently pull me back in until I could touch my feet again and easily walked right out of the water. And I really feel like I healed another deep layer of that fear within myself, and we do that every single time we face our fear over and over as it gets easier and easier and easier. And then I felt this like freedom inside of myself and sat on the edge of the water here and watched everyone else continuing to play. And there was this adorable family here, two little ones jumping in the waves, having a blast. And I felt this joy inside of myself expand. And so that's the other piece of this metaphor. When we face our fear and we go into it, we move through it into what we are desiring more of, more joy is possible for us. But it's the resistance of the fear and facing our destiny and accessing what we know we want more of that we prevent ourselves from having it. So we have to move through it. We have to face that and learn to move through it with ease and grace. So that's my blessing for you, to you today. Sending love and warm aloha. Let me get some more of the beach here for you as the sun is setting. Yay! Sending much warm blessings to you today, especially those of you that are in the very cold. That's all for now. Ta-ta for now.